Hi, welcome again to Anime Saves Over Analysis. This video will cover elements from episodes 1 through 18 of Higurashi Gou anime. This is part 2 of this series where I speculate on the events that will be revealed in the rest of the season. In part 1, that was uploaded last week, I covered what likely happened in each of the previous arcs. However, you don't need to watch part 1 to understand this video. In this video, I will speculate on Satoko's motives as well as possible endings for Higurashi Gou. Now let us begin. One thing to note here is that if you remember, the original Higurashi was written in such a way that the culprit's motives were impossible to guess until it was revealed in the answer arcs, in the cases of Shion in Meyakashi and Takano in Matsurabashi. However, just like it isn't Rika's first time trying to break through the loop, it isn't our first time dealing with Rikishi either. And I think in this case we have a clear hint that Satoko reveals herself in episode 16, which is to make Rika not want to leave Hinamizawa. However, just as I mentioned, this type of reason is hard to justify and would ruin Satoko's character that was built up in the original. One thing we know about the author is that he has a lot of love for his characters and writes them in a way the viewer would empathize with them as much as possible. Similarly to how he gave Takano in the original a tragic backstory, which led to her motivation to fulfill her grandfather's dream in a twisted way. I believe something similar will happen in Higurashi Gou for Satoko, and that he will reveal the events after the end of the original from Satoko's perspective. It is anyone's guess as to what caused Satoko to act this way, but if I had to guess, it's likely from her loneliness as her friends started to leave her. After the events of Matsurabashi, where Rika thought she achieved the perfect world, time passes and members of the club who thought they would be together forever slowly drift away as they grow up. We can see hints of this happening even in episode 18, where the club members are discussing the effects of Mion moving for high school and how they don't have much time to see her. So Mion and Shion leave for high school/college, and Keiichi and Rena soon follow. And even Rika, who Satoko thought would always be with her, reveals that she plans to leave Hinamizawa to go to St. Lucia's Academy. And we do get some hints that Satoko will have trouble entering St. Lucia's Academy from the game scene in episode 18. On top of that, her brother Satoshi never recovers and gets in worse condition now that the queen carrier Rika has moved away. I believe somewhere it says that Satoshi wakes up eventually, but let's just say that it is after the events of Higurashi Gou for now. Also, since the stigma of being a hojo and teppei problem were never solved in Matsurabashi, unlike Minagoroshi, plus the effects of the Hinamizawa syndrome leads the villagers to bully and abuse Satoko. Although Rika makes attempts to solve this issue in episode 18 by asking Oryo to declare Oyashiro-sama's curse to be over, I can see it still being a problem if the effects of Hinamizawa syndrome returns, and they might actually blame Rika for declaring the curse to be over and enraging Oyashiro-sama. Another possibility is that Satoko does enter St. Lucia's Academy with Rika, but due to her poor scores gets placed in a different class and is not able to adjust to her new environment and gets bullied as a result. All of this drives Satoko to the verge of madness, and she decides to take her own life, while remembering the good times that she had with Rika before she left Hinamizawa. This is when a mysterious being approaches Satoko with the deal and manipulates her into starting the events of Higurashi Gou, or something like that. I think a story like this will help the viewer empathize with Satoko, while shifting part of the blame to the real mastermind and helping restore Satoko's character. Also, on a topic of a real mastermind, I think it was clear even from the beginnings that Satoko can't be the ultimate mastermind since she has no power to cause the loops. The author could go with Satoko turned into Lambda Delta route, but I feel it is unlikely since that would kind of cheapen Satoko's character and the original Higurashi, so unless Satoko in Gou is actually not Satoko, I feel this is unlikely. So there has to be a supernatural being that is the real mastermind behind all of this. It also makes what Hanyuu says here most natural, since it would be out of character for her to tell Rika to kill herself, or her friend Satoko, which only leaves the true mastermind as the target. I also saw people speculating there is another looper/helper of Satoko, but I also find this a bit unlikely as it convolutes the story too much with only 6 episodes left. If this was the case though, the most likely character would be Shion, as she seems to be the candidate that has most connections with Satoko through Satoshi, along with her friendly attitude towards Satoko and Gou. On top of that, Shion is suspiciously missing from Satoko's birthday party in episode 17, and with her Yakuza connections, be able to supply Satoko with the gun. Finally, this picture where Satoko seems to be holding a ribbon that looks eerily similar to Shion's. However, there are a lot of flaws to this theory, and I find it unlikely as I mentioned. So then, who is the real mastermind? I already alluded to this earlier and in my previous videos, but the most likely candidate is likely Hanyuu, who is turning into Feathery. I see a lot of speculation regarding involvement of witches from Umineko, and this is certainly possible, but again I feel that it would make the story too convoluted and it seems a bit late to start introducing new characters into the series, unless they really plan to do another season of Higurashi Sotsu. And there certainly seems to be hints for Hanyuu as found in the OP and in ED2, as well as ED1's title and lyrics seem most natural from Hanyuu's perspective. And I think it would make most sense for OP lyrics to be Satoko, the fake mastermind, while the ED lyrics are Hanyuu's, the real mastermind. So given what I said, I will now speculate on the ending of Higurashi Gou. I will describe two endings, and it's pure speculation, so it could be none of them or all of them. Saving Satoko Ending. After Satoko's true motives are revealed, Rika understands and forgives her and tells Satoko that she will always be with her. All the club members agree and decide to fight against the true mastermind. After what is reminiscent of the ending from original Higurashi, where each member plays a key role in helping Rika and Satoko reach the true mastermind still seems too powerful. Just as it looks like they are going to lose, it turns out that Satoko has planned a trap. It helps Rika get to the mastermind, with the Onigari no Ryu to slay the mastermind. Finally escape the endless torture that is June 1983. Now skipping back to the future, Rika and Satoko reunite with the club members as they celebrate Satoko's birthday, and Satoko realizes that even though all of her friends were physically away, they were always there for her, and it ends with her hopeful for the future. Saving Satoko Ending B. All of the events I described just above, but Satoshi finally wakes up and joins the party and tells Satoko, "Oh, daijoubu. Naze te watashi ga kita?" and tells her that she always has him. Satoko realizes that she still has family and ends with her hopeful for the future, while also utilizing Satoshi as a character that has been hinted at the whole time. Hanyuu's sacrifice ending. After the ending of original Higurashi, Rika leaves Hinamizawa as explained, and this causes issues with the villagers and Satoshi due to the queen carrier being away. Seeing this, Hanyuu realizes that the only way for Rika to have a normal life is for the Hinamizawa syndrome to be eliminated, and also that the only way this can be done is for Hanyuu herself to disappear. Knowing this and seeing Satoko suffering, Hanyuu makes a deal / manipulates Satoko into helping her bring Rika into the loop, for Rika to suffer and grow hatred for Hanyuu so that Rika can kill her. When it is revealed that Hanyuu is a true mastermind, she then also gives Rika the hint for Onigari no Ryu, which can be used to slay her. This also explains why a fragment of it was still left in the statue. However, in the middle of the fight, Rika realizes Hanyuu's true intentions and refuses to kill her. Knowing this, Hanyuu calls Rika her daughter and that she loves her, that she alone will carry the sins of the world, as it is her duty / karma to do so, and stabs herself into the sword. And Rika cries as Hanyuu dies and fades away. And thus, the final Watanagashi festival has concluded, in the same way it had begun. Skipping into the future, Rika is in high school, and reminisces of the good times that she had with Hanyuu and Hinamizawa. But knowing that Hanyuu would want her to continue living, moves forward while hopeful for the future. The scene pans out and we see Hanyuu, who has died, and has fully transcended into Federine, watching Rika from a distance with a smile. Again, this is all pure speculation at this point, but I think something like this would preserve the characters and meaning of the original ending of Higurashi while tying things up in Higurashi Gou. It would also tie into Koto Hogushi, which is the story of Hanyuu's past with her daughter, and the meaning of the Watanagashi festival. Anyway, that's it for this theory. Please like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks, bye!